Imagine a striker who seems like he was crafted in a laboratory, a player who seamlessly combines strength, speed, and technique with an uncanny ability to find the back of the net. This phenomenon, Erling Haaland, has taken the footballing world by storm, smashing records and delivering decisive performances in his young career. Yet, a paradox surrounds him. How can someone so extraordinary still attract doubt and criticism? Despite his collection of titles, awards, and unmatched scoring records, Haaland's brilliance is often overshadowed by debates about his style of play. This paradox invites us to dive deeper into the enigma of Erling Haaland. For some critics, Haaland is a limited player, just a finisher whose contributions outside the penalty box are minimal. They argue that his impact in build-up play is lacking and that he thrives more on his team's service than his team thrives on him. These criticisms paint a picture of a player whose brilliance is often diminished by skepticism. Haaland seems trapped in a unique dilemma. While the world acknowledges his record-breaking feats, many hesitate to anoint him as one of football's great number nines. Today we examine the Haaland Paradox and explore why a player so proficient in his role continues to divide opinion. Haaland's debut season in the Premier League exemplifies his extraordinary talent. Scoring 36 goals in 2023, he broke the league's single-season scoring record. Across all competitions, he netted 52 goals, secured the European Golden Boot, and led Manchester City to a historic treble. Yet instead of unanimous praise, Haaland's accomplishments sparked debate, particularly in the English media. Some claimed his success was more a product of Manchester City's system than his individual brilliance. This criticism raises an intriguing question. Why does Haaland's dominance attract doubt? A significant part of the criticism lies in Haaland's role at Manchester City. Unlike all-around strikers like Harry Kane or Karim Benzema, Haaland rarely drops deep to influence play. Instead, he is often a tactical decoy, drawing defenders away to create space for creative midfielders like Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden. In some matches, Haaland's involvement is minimal, with shockingly low touches, leading to the claim that City played better without him. Furthermore, his game prioritizes raw power and speed over the finesse typically associated with top-tier strikers. Critics often highlight his unpolished passing and dribbling, suggesting they fall short of Ballon d'Or-level expectations. Another common critique is Haaland's dependence on service. Without accurate crosses or incisive passes, his opportunities to score diminish. However, this narrative ignores his evolution as a player. During his youth at Brygge in Norway, Haaland was known for his creativity and technical skill. At 15, he relied on his footballing intelligence and finesse rather than physicality to compete against older opponents. Despite his slight build, he was already a prolific scorer, netting goals against players 3 years his senior and gaining a reputation as a natural finisher. By the time he moved to Molde in 2017, Haaland had developed into a scoring machine, netting 20 goals in 50 matches by the age of 17. However, scouts and coaches noted that while his finishing instincts were exceptional, his physicality and coordination needed improvement. Determined to silence his critics, Haaland underwent a transformative period of physical development, bulking up and refining his game to thrive at the highest level. Erling Haaland moved to Red Bull Salzburg in January 2019, a transfer years in the making as the club had closely monitored his progress. The sporting director even admitted to scouting Haaland extensively before signing him. After playing just 5 games for Salzburg between January and May, Haaland traveled to Cologne for the Under-20 World Cup. There, he made history by scoring an astonishing 9 goals in Norway's 12-0 demolition of Honduras, finishing as the tournament's top scorer. Upon returning to Salzburg, Haaland became the starting striker under coach Jesse Marsch. He wasted no time, making an impact scoring 6 goals in his first league game of the season and finishing the campaign with 28 goals in 22 games, including 5 hat-tricks. Haaland's Champions League debut further cemented his rising star status. He scored a hat-trick in the first half of his debut match against Genk and followed it up by scoring in all 4 subsequent group stage games. This remarkable feat made him the first teenager and only the 5th player at the time to score in 5 consecutive Champions League games. By this point, clubs across the world were taking notice of his prodigious talent. However, despite his goal-scoring exploits, his father acknowledged that Haaland was still an inexperienced player, needing to refine his overall game to reach his full potential. Erling Haaland's journey to becoming a generational talent required calculated decisions and relentless improvement. After his initial rise in Salzburg, Haaland and his father strategically chose Borussia Dortmund as the next step. It was a young team in need of a clinical striker, and they believed this environment would allow him to refine his abilities while developing further as a player. Dortmund proved to be the perfect fit, offering Haaland a chance to thrive in a competitive league. Haaland made an unforgettable Bundesliga debut against Augsburg in January 2020. Coming off the bench in the second half with Dortmund trailing 3-1, Haaland scored a stunning hat-trick in just 22 minutes, turning the game into a 5-3 victory. Over the next 2.5 years, he became an unstoppable force in Germany, scoring 86 goals in 89 games. At Dortmund, he was entrusted with more responsibility and build-up play, developing into a more complete forward. The physicality he once lacked had now become one of his greatest assets. By the time he left the Bundesliga, Haaland had all the traits every top club coveted: speed, strength, technical ability, and an unrelenting instinct for goals. In 2022, Haaland chose Manchester City as his next destination, aiming to elevate his career further. The fit was ideal. City needed a true number 9, and Haaland would be surrounded by creative midfielders like Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, and Ilkay Gundogan, all capable of delivering precise service. Under Pep Guardiola's guidance, he also had the opportunity to grow tactically. On top of that, City held sentimental value for Haaland. His father, Alfie Haaland, had once played for the club. Despite the excitement surrounding his transfer, Haaland's Premier League debut raised eyebrows. In the Community Shield match against Liverpool, he missed a clear opportunity, and City lost 3-1. Critics were quick to question whether he could replicate his Bundesliga success in England. However, Haaland silenced doubters as soon as the season began. He scored twice in his league debut against West Ham and followed it up with back-to-back hat-tricks against Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest, becoming the fastest player in Premier League history to score 2 hat-tricks. As the season progressed, Haaland shattered records. By the end of the 2022-23 Premier League season, he had scored 36 goals in 35 matches, setting a new record for most goals in a single season. Across all competitions, he netted 52 goals, helping Manchester City secure a historic treble with victories in the Premier League, FA Cup, and Champions League. In Europe, Haaland's 12 goals played a pivotal role in City's long-awaited Champions League triumph. Yet, even with these accomplishments, critics focused on his performances in key moments. He failed to score or assist in the semi-final against Real Madrid and the final against Inter Milan, leading some to question his impact in the biggest games. The scrutiny extended into the following season. Haaland remained the league's top scorer, despite missing matches due to injury, but his lack of involvement in build-up play became a recurring topic. Even so, his presence on the field consistently opened up spaces for teammates. Rodri's decisive goal in the Champions League final against Inter, for instance, was a direct result of Haaland pulling defenders out of position. Throughout his career, Haaland's numbers speak for themselves. He scored 29 goals in 27 games for Salzburg, 86 goals in 89 games for Dortmund, and already has 125 goals in just over 100 appearances for Manchester City. For Norway, he has tallied an incredible 38 goals in 39 games. Wherever he plays, Haaland's ability to put the ball in the back of the net is unmatched. Haaland is more than just a striker. He is a phenomenon redefining what it means to lead the line in modern football. The criticism he faces, whether for his style or perceived limitations, only underscores his greatness. Even a 25-goal season is now seen as below average for him, a testament to the standard he has set. With the potential to become one of the greatest scorers in football history, it's time for the footballing world to recognize and respect Erling Haaland for the generational talent that he is. What do you think? This has been Analyzing the Game, your go-to space for stories and insights about the sport. Until next time.